Hello, this is Fairlyn with another tutorial. This webisode is going to be about safe kick verification processes. Now, there's a couple of things that you are going to want to expect if you're entering into a legitimate buyer-seller group. And what I mean by legitimate is the sellers are screened, the buyers are screened. You know for sure everybody in that room is over the age of 18 and you don't have to stress. So there are some issues with some people who want to remain anonymous. And I'll give you advice on how to verify those people too. That does not necessarily apply to sellers. The reason why is with sellers, we need to know before you enter into a legitimate group that you are legally able to sell adult content. And if anybody from law enforcement decides to follow a lead, you need to be able to provide ID, not only for you, but anyone in your videos or anyone who is in your cam shows, because you never know what's going to happen with a buyer when you do a cam show. They can have one of those apps on their phones where they can record what's going on the screen. So, just in case, if a group does not age verify you when you enter in, you probably don't want to be there unless you're underage. But we're going to pretend that that doesn't happen. Now, it happens all the time. We remove minors all the time. If they can't prove ID, we just assume that they are minors. And this is why. When you age verify with ID for a buyer-seller group, you're not giving out your name, you're not giving out your license number, you're not giving out your address. That is your responsibility to be 22567 compliant. You are the ones who keep track of the identification of the people in your videos. If you don't have that, you can get in a lot of trouble. One, because it's not your content. Revenge porn is illegal in many states. For those of you who don't know what revenge porn is, that means posting pornographic or adult content material without the permission of the model. So it's a copyright infringement, but it is also a felony. It's a gross abuse of non-consensual sexual abuse. So, on to how that works. All the group administrators are interested in is your photo and your birthday. Because you're going to take a verification video as well, or a verification picture, depending on your availability, etc. Now, this is how it works. The video verification is to screen for catfish. There are mods out there, modified kicks, that allow you to fake live pictures. So when you do do a live pic verification instead of a video, you're going to have them take one plane to compare it to the ID, and then you're going to have them doing a specific gesture, like something weird, like, oh, touch your teeth, whatever. Touch your chin, touch your nose. I don't like using those because they get used very often. I don't like using this either. Do not have a set verification method. Switch it up. If you can come up with a list of like 20, they can't predict what you're going to do. But some of them will go away and come back the next day. So don't give the second verification order until they take the first normal one. For sellers, we normally, if they can, ask them to do live video authentication. And I don't mean cam video authentication, just one that's taken on the Kit app. It only can be like 15 seconds long. And we have them state their age, their username, and their accepted payment methods. That just verifies that the person in the picture is aware of that username and they're aware that they're selling. It really doesn't even matter if she's the one selling her content. Her boyfriend can be on the phone selling her content for her. Doesn't matter. As long as she is giving consent and she is verified as the person that is in the content. With buyers, a lot of them want anonymity, which is fine. I respect that. So I came up with other ways to verify, unless they're under the age of 25. Always ask them age, payment method, and location. More on the last one later. Now, some groups are kind of sketchy about IDing everybody, but I ID everyone who looks young. I used to be a bartender, and I'm 35. So everyone under 35 looks young to me anyway. If they state their age as under 25, I automatically card them either way. So they are not going to get by the sneak thing. If it's older and they want anonymity, I give them the option of verifying with a live pic from the eyes down. So only this much of their face is visible. They can do it like this, or they can do it like this. I don't care. You can usually tell in the lower part of the face whether or not they're an adult. Especially if they say, they're 42 to 62. It's pretty obvious to tell if they're lying about that from this part of their face. And the eyes not being visible still gives them a sense of security. They don't want to be blackmailed, whatever. They have a wife, whatever. That's what it's about. That's why they're online buying content instead of getting hookers. Well, that and maybe they don't actually want to cheat. We don't really verify for catfish for sellers. You can if you want to. For buyers. We do for sellers every time. But you don't have to verify them technically. There is still like the whole good faith thing. Everything on the internet pretty much operates it It says you must be 18 to enter this chat. Most adult content websites out there have no way to enforce that. So you kind of just have to trust people to some extent. All right. The other thing that we want to verify for is location. This is a tricky one. Because we're trying to stay legitimate. We're trying to do everything legally, right? So there's a bunch of countries that don't allow internet pornography or they have strict regulations on them. But I made up a list of some that are definitely illegal. There are some going around in kick groups that have countries that are legal, like India. It's legal to possess, buy, whatever, internet pornography. It's not legal to produce it in India, but it's legal to have it. But a lot of people don't like to sell to people from India because they tend to be annoying. And a lot of them are beggars and they claim they have no way to pay. They can pay. They've had PayPal for 4 years. They can buy Amazon electronic gift cards. Don't let them fool you. That's not the issue. They are usually very subservient and they want you to be mean to them. And that's how they test you. That's how they get their fix. Be mean to them a little bit. Leave them alone. They come back for more. Tell them how to pay you. All right. So, a list of countries that are definitely restricted, and it is illegal to purchase pornography over the internet: Bahrain, China, Egypt, the Gaza Strip, Indonesia, different than India, but very close. And Indonesia has no way of paying you. Iran, Kuwait, Malaysia, Nepal, North Korea. It's a big surprise there, right? Oman, Pakistan, Papua New Guinea, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Solomon Islands, Somaliland, if that's how you say it, South Korea, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Syria, Thailand, Turkmenistan, Uganda, United Arab Emirates. There's a lot of countries that are part of the United Arab Emirates. So if you are in doubt, look it up. Yemen. Other countries have different types of porn restrictions. Some don't have porn restrictions for internet porn. Some do. Some just don't have clear laws. So I only added the ones that definitely were legal to sell to. Um, Africa is a hard one to get paid through. There's not a lot of payment options there. Um, Japan, though it's not illegal, most of them have um, restricted access. So they don't really have access to porn sites or things like that. But Kick is a way to get around all of those restricted websites that are blocked nationally. Of course, they could just get a VPN and change their country settings, but who am I to judge, right? Why should things be simple? Anyway, keep yourself safe, follow the law, make sure your buyers are following the law as much as you can. You're not responsible for them, but if they tell you they're from Bahrain or Indonesia, don't bother. Don't bother. If they're from India, feel them out. I always make them pay me with Amazon gift cards because some of them are there's a lot of scammers out there. No freebies, girls. No freebies. Until next time.